Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Memorial Day. And as I was walking in the office this morning, someone stopped me and as I was walking in and said, "Hey, happy Memorial Day." And I thought, is it? I don't know. And that was very nice of the person to say good morning and all that. So thank you, whoever you were. But it did strike me as I realized that most people are spending the day thinking about, oh, I've got this 3-day weekend. I have the day off. This is so great. And not necessarily thinking about what Memorial Day really means. And if you've never lost anyone, uh, or had anybody you knew even who was in the armed services or lost anyone, um, who gave their lives for our country, when you think about what we're celebrating or thinking about today, then it can become, I think, sort of farther from you, Memorial Day, and what it means and what it is. So I really want to talk about that today because to me, Memorial Day is about commitment and it's very close to you. It's, I hope, very close to your heart. When I think about people who, I work a lot with the military, and I have over the years. And it's certainly been an honor. And also, I've learned so much. I grew up in a home. My dad had served. He immigrated here from another country, but he had served in the Army and but wasn't overseas, thank God. And I think, coming from kind of a sort of typical home, Jewish, New York home, it wasn't common for people to go in the military and do that kind of thing. And so, but my nephew's been in, and my partner was 6 years in the Navy, go Navy nukes. And, and again, I've worked with veterans and actually people actively on active duty and actively enlisted for many years now. And so I've learned a lot really about what it means to be in the military. Number one, that you give up all your rights. You give up literally. Do you know that they have no rights? I can remember the first time that I had somebody in the military and their commanding officer had called for an update. And I said, oh, I don't have a release. We need to release of information, which is always what you need to speak about anybody. And he said, and I remember this really well. He said, oh, no, sweetheart. Wasn't great that he called me sweetheart, but we'll let that go. He said, oh, no, sweetheart, I own him. He doesn't need a release, I promise. And I said I'd have to get back to him, and I actually checked, and it is true. So people who are in the military do not need to have releases of information signed because everything can be known. They are giving up all their rights to protect our rights, to protect everyone else's rights, and they do that for a period of time. I love talking to my partner sometimes about these stories of being on the ship and, working days straight. And I don't just mean 12-hour days. I mean like 36 hours at a time or more, week after week, day after day. There's no overtime. There's no paid time off. There's none of that stuff. You are owned. And all the rules that apply to us as citizens don't apply to people in the military. And so, and it's something I really never understood fully or appreciated fully until I was exposed to it more. And I realized that it is this huge commitment that people make because they feel driven to serve in this case, to serve our country. Maybe they feel driven for other personal motives, but I really think of that as the primary because there's lots of things you can do besides going in the military, even if you want to save yourself. I have had people who went in because they just didn't know what else to do. And in a way, it was kind of saving them. So that's fine with me, but I really think it's about service. And so it gets me to think about commitment that we all have. And I say a lot that commitment, it's like training for a race. So when you train for a race, when you make that commitment, training does not mean you'll win, but there's huge advantages and value that you get along the way from the training. And that is really commitment. It's you get so much value and advantages when you commit to something fully, when you put your full self in, your full heart in, your full mind, body, everything in. Now, when you know me, I'm all about relationships, right? So how does this affect your relationships? Well, I'll ask people sometimes, when I'm doing a talk somewhere, I'll say, what's the percentage you need to put into a relationship to make it great, to really have a fully functioning, really intimate, connected relationship? what percentage of your energy and effort do you need to put in? Now, back in the day, people would always say 50%. It's two of us. We each put in 50%, and that's how we get a fully committed relationship. And I think most people know that that's wrong. It's not 50-50. 50-50 is such a lie. I don't know whoever came up with that. That's not true. To get a fully committed, wonderful, healthy, productive relationship in any relationship, definitely your romantic partnerships, but at work or anywhere else, you need to put in 100%, 100% all the time. That's commitment. That's this full heart, this full body, mind, and soul. Now, if I was at a job and I was half-assing it, went in late, left early, didn't really put a lot of attention or time in, I think it would be crazy to expect raises, promotions, anything like that, right? Well, people do it in relationships all the time. They're expecting people to give to them, to be great, to be awesome partners and all that, when they themselves are putting in 50%. They're just putting in enough to make it work. They're just putting in enough to keep it going. So I say to you, stop. Be fully committed. Put in 100%. I know it's hard. Trust me. I've got tons of different relationships. But as I enter them, as I'm with them, I try to put in 100% each time. I try to give my full attention, focus. So every time a client walks in the room, every time I greet my children or my partner or whoever else, I really try to take that time to give 100% of my energy and effort and heart. So I want you to do the same. When you think about this Memorial Day today, as you're gliding through your day, as you're doing your day and having maybe picnics or drinking beer, whatever you're doing, I would like you to stop and take a minute and think about the commitment other people have made for our country. And now think about the commitment you can make, because to me, it's for our country too. People think I'm crazy, but it's the truth. I believe if we had a bunch of really happy, satisfied, connected, well-adjusted people around, we'd have a lot less problems. And I think you know I'm right. So you can do your part to making this country great, to making your life great, your city, your town, your little community, wherever you want to start, great, by being fully committed to the relationships in your life. Really put yourself in. And if there's toxic people there or people who really shouldn't be there anymore, be fully committed to get out. Be fully committed to be done. And really put your time into the ones that deserve it, that need you, that can bring you what you need. So that's it for today. I'm Dr. Abby Medcalf. You can check out my website, abbymedcalf.com, or you can shoot me an email at abby@abbymedcalf.com. You know, I answer them. I love to hear your comments below the video, what you think about commitment, what you're committing to today. I'd love to know. And other than that, have a great day off, everyone, and I'll see you next week.